Good afternoon. Nope. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How you guys doing this morning? Um, Wanted to jump on and talk about something that hit me the other morning. I'm developing a habit of journaling every morning. And while my handwriting is so poor that I don't write, which is probably the best method of journaling because it helps your mind and hand and body work together, I type my journal because I want to be able to read it later on. And unfortunately, handwriting was never my forte. But typing is. And I entitled this The Inner State of Life for a reason, because the other morning I had a revelation about how we're traveling down the road of life, which is an old analogy, of course. But I'm also thinking about how people change lanes, how we take a different route, how things change up for us in our lives, and what we do different. And we have a firm belief that everyone has something to teach you, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. They all leave a mark on us. And what I wrote about and what I thought about was, as we're traveling down this road of life, a lot of things can happen. We may decide to change lanes. We may decide to get off that road and get on a different road. We may decide to go east instead of west. We may decide to go north instead of south, whatever. But so is everyone else. So there's going to be times when people come into your lane. Intersection, right? We're meeting people. Sometimes those people are not considerate enough to have their turn signal on to let you know they're coming. Or sometimes they're not considerate enough to turn it off and let you know they're leaving your life. But that's life. That's not the real interstate, right? People do things. People just change. People drift. People evolve. I was listening to an interview with John C. Maxwell the other day, and he was talking about, he did a speech, and a gentleman walked up to him and said to him, "Why couldn't have I met you 20 years ago? Your message is so powerful." And John said, "It wouldn't have mattered 20 years ago because you wouldn't have got the same message." And the guy was like, "What?" Think about that. Always evolving, always changing. And as much as we say we don't want to change, things change. So if we let people who jump into our lane upset us, we're either going to stop, we're going to stall, or we're going to turn around and go the other way and maybe miss out on an opportunity that was down that road that we were going, but we decided not to go down there because somebody jumped in front of us. Let them jump in front of you. Matter of fact, start a conversation with them. Ask them where they're going. Maybe you'll find out that they're going the same place you are, but they're just not focused on anything right now because they're too focused on where they're going, right? They didn't see you because they're focused on where they're going, right? The rear view mirror is much smaller than the front windshield for a reason, because what's behind you isn't going to do any more damage than what's in front of you. What's in front of you is what's going to get you. So that's what it's all about, right? So people coming in and out of our lives, it's going to happen. People will change. Friends will change. My goodness, if I went back to my high school years, matter of fact, I still talk to one of my buddies from high school, but not regularly, but we talk. I can't count how many friends have come in and out of my life. My guys that were in the Navy with me, I still talk to a few of them. We have a ship's page, so I see a few of the guys I was in with, but not many. There were 1,000 guys on my ship. I think I still talk to 4 of them. That's life. I had 4 really good friends when I was in the service. I don't even know where they are anymore. Not through only my own fault, but partly theirs too. When they left, they left. They moved on. And while we had a good time when we were together, I bet you if we ran into each other today, we'd have a good time. And it wouldn't matter what happened. I would never say, why'd you stop talking to me? It's not important. They had to do what they had to do. And that's sort of where I'm going with this, is that as we're traveling this road of life and as we're looking for our destination, as we're searching for what we really, really want, people are going to either travel with you, get in your way, tailgate you, or maybe try to follow you. And I'm not against people following. I think it's nice. But what I'm for is people leading their own life. That's what I'm for. I want you to lead your best life, no matter what happens in front of you, beside you, behind you, because all of that is not in your control. What's in your control is how you deal with it, where you're going, and why you're going there. Somebody pissed you off today. Is that their fault? You might think it is because, oh, no, there's no way I could just, they must have just done something to really piss me off. No, it's entirely possible that you got pissed off because something else was bothering you and they triggered it. You don't know. Maybe they didn't put their turn signal on early enough for you. Something to think about, guys. The world is not going to give you everything you want unless you know where you're going, accept what happens to you, learn from it, and grow from it, and change. Because the world is constantly changing. They say the number one thing that determines success and failure in life, you ready? Not just business, life, is adaptability. Let's pause on that one for a second. Adaptability? Yes, because things change. If you have a long list of things that you will never negotiate, good book too, by the way, Winning by Tim S. Grover. If you have a long book about things you won't negotiate about, there's a good chance there's a lot of bad stuff happening in your life to you. Because if you aren't willing to see the other side of the argument, then it's entirely possible you'll never see anything except what you want to see. Life doesn't give you clear pictures. Life gives you clouds, and you have to work your way through them. This morning I was writing in my journal about going through the jungle. If you remember the old movies when we were kids, well, when I was a kid, a lot of you know, but when I was a kid, there were a lot of movies about people going through the jungle. I don't know why, but there were. And they always had a machete to cut away the undergrowth so they could get through the jungle. They were blazing new paths through the jungle, right? So think about that. If you're driving down the road and people keep getting in your way, maybe you're on a crowded road and need to find one that hasn't been so well traveled. The same with that analogy about the jungle. If I walk a path that's clear through a jungle, somebody's already done that. It's already been done. It's a well-worn path. But if I cut my own way through that jungle, I've created something else for other people to see, to maybe follow if they choose to. Okay? Unless they don't know where it's going, then why would they follow it? So here's the thing. If somebody cuts you off, it's not your problem, it's theirs. Yeah, they caused you this much, a moment of discomfort, right? This is something I'm working on too, because believe me, somebody cuts me off, I'm not real happy about it. But it's interesting because when we moved down to South Carolina, the driving habits are a little different than they are up north. People don't rush. when they're not on the interstate. But when they're on the interstate, they're going fast. And they change lanes quickly. And I'm actually working on that where like now that doesn't bother me anymore because I know that they're going to do it. So it's a different dynamic for me now because I know there's a good chance he's coming over. If there's a car length, they're taking it. So knowing that, I let it happen. Okay, it's just going to happen. I'll adapt. Now my day isn't ruined. The car's still in one piece. Everybody's happy. We're still moving. Nobody stopped. Everybody's moving. So that's what I was going to talk to you about today. Life is a busy interstate. Go find the back roads. Because that's where the real adventure is. And you'll also still get to meet people on the back road. Might be even friendlier. All right, guys. Thought I'd jump on and wish you all a great day. And we'll talk to you soon. Love yous.